Then the last classification of costs is classification according to behavior. And this one looks at how costs respond with change in volume of production or activity level. Like if production is low, the costs will be different compared to when production is high. So it looks at how costs respond with a change in the volume of production. The first cost under classification by behavior is fixed costs. As you hear fixed, it's something that is constant or something that doesn't change. So they remain constant over a given range of output. No matter what you're producing, whether you're producing in big volumes or not, it will remain the same. Then they are incurred with the passage of time, not with the number of cells you're making and all that. As long as time is passing by, you will have to incur those costs. For example, rent, insurance, and then taxes. Then there are two forms of fixed costs, and the first one is committed, and then you have discretionary. So for committed, fixed costs can't change at all as they relate to long-term policies and planning. Then for discretionary, they can be partially changed. For example, research and consultation fees. This is a graph to represent fixed costs. So the x-axis shows the output, which is Q. Then the y-axis shows the total cost, which is TC. Then that straight line shows fixed costs. It is straight, meaning that the costs are constant. No matter what is produced, the costs are still the same. So that is the graph that shows the fixed costs. Then another cost we have under classification according to behavior is variable costs. Something that is variable, it's something that changes. So these ones, they vary with the level of output. So that is the graph that shows variable costs. So that arrow has an increasing trend, like it's going up, showing that as output is increasing, even the variable costs increase because they increase according to the level of output that is being produced. Then another cost we have under classification according to behavior is semi-variable costs or mixed costs. So these have components of both the fixed and then the variable costs. So that's the graph. To some point, the costs are constant, then up to somewhere they start increasing. So they have both the fixed and then the variable cost behavior. So they are mixed. That is the semi-variable costs. The last cost is step costs or semi-fixed costs. So these are costs which are constant with a level of activity. Like if you keep everything the way it is, nothing is going to change. The costs are going to remain the same. You get, like if you've been transporting your materials from the supplier to your premises, maybe at 100k, if you keep transporting the same amount of materials, those costs are going to remain the same. But once you increase or decrease, the cost will also have to change, the transport costs. So they are constant with a level of activity, and they can only change. For example, transport costs can change based on the tons that you are transporting. Then the supervisory costs can only change depending on the number of workers. If the number of workers increase, supervisory costs will also increase. If they reduce, they will also reduce. But if they remain constant, supervisory costs will also remain constant. So step costs or semi-fixed costs, These are costs that are constant with the level of activity. So that's the end of costs classification. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. Let's catch up in my next video.